All right, YouTube, this is going to be my first book review video. This is going to be my March reading wrap up. I read 10 books. I believe only like 5 or 6 of them, maybe 7. No, 7 of them are paper, and I also read 3 of them on my Kindle. So let's get into it. All right, the first book that I read in March was Rule of the Aurora King. This is the third book of the series second book of the series to Trial of the Sun Queen. I believe I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I loved the story. They leave you on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm really, really excited for the next book to come out. I don't believe it comes out until like October, but I applied for the ARC, so hopefully I get it. Fingers crossed. But definitely so good if you like trials. If you liked A Court of Thorns and Roses, these books definitely give those vibes, especially in the romance aspect of it, just because the main love interest, the male main love interest, is very dark and broody and protective, and so very, very good. Loved it. The next book that I read in the month of March was Credence. I'm sorry, I loved this book. Love this book. I can see why people don't like it though, just based off of what it's about. I believe I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. I would rate it, I wouldn't say like 5 out of 5, but I would definitely say maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. Super good. I love the story. It's about a 17-year-old girl that has to go live with her like step uncle and step cousins because her parents pass away. And basically it gives Twilight vibes. They live in like the mountains, cabin of Colorado, somewhere in there. And it just sort of follows her journey of healing and finding herself while also being in this love triangle. You do with that information what you will. The next book that I read in the month of March was Archer's Voice. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. I was trying to get into my romance era because I am a fantasy girl, and this book did not disappoint. I loved it so much. It follows a girl who moves into this new town, and she meets this boy who doesn't speak, but she just so happens to speak sign language because her father was deaf. So it follows their story, and so good. I don't even have enough words to describe how good this was. I just loved how unique the story was, and how comforting it was. Like, it reminds me, if they were to make this into a movie, it would be something like The Notebook. It truly would. The next books that I read were One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. One Dark Window, I think I rated like a 3.5 to 3.75. I liked it, but I was just not like confused. It was just like such poetic writing that I couldn't get into it. It was very unfeeling for me. I couldn't get attached to the characters. But Two Twisted Crowns, I rated a 4 out of 5, without a doubt. I loved this book. It felt like the writer sort of, not like completely changed her writing style, but she just added more feeling to the characters. There wasn't as much like poetic nonsense, I guess you could say. I definitely understood it a lot better. I understood the foreshadowing a lot better. She explained things very well, and so good. If you want a like darker, more like gothic fantasy, this will be it, with a very unique magic system. And yeah, I feel like that's the best way to describe it. The next book that I read was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I absolutely ate this book up. It follows a vampire and a werewolf in an arranged marriage, and it is a very good introduction to the Omegaverse. I actually had to look it up and see exactly what it was about because I truly have never stepped my toes into this. So, love it. I will definitely be reading more books like this because I think it was a very, very good introduction into that type of fantasy. So, but yeah, it follows a vampire and a werewolf in an arranged marriage, and basically things happen, obviously, and it's a romance, so you get the vibes, but so good. The next book was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I loved this book. If this book were like a movie, it would be like World War II, like Hacksaw Ridge meets like Harry Potter, just based off of like the magic system and how old-timey it feels. I loved the writing style and the character development and how the story is told. The whole story is very unique. The way that she tells some of the story through writing letters, I really, really like that aspect of it. And this book leaves you on such a big cliffhanger. I cannot wait to read the next book, Ruthless Vows. I will be starting it immediately. I don't think I said what I rated this. I rated it a 4 out of 5. The next books are on my Kindle. So I read the King of Sin series. So King of Wrath, King of Pride, and King of Greed. King of Wrath, I rated 4 out of 5. I love the book. All of these books follow very rich billionaires. And so the first book follows a girl and a guy who are sort of in like an arranged marriage. The girl's father sort of puts this all together, but behind her back. And so it basically follows them navigating this because this billionaire was sort of tricked into it. So I'm not going to say too much more, but very, very good. I loved it. My second favorite of the whole series. The next one is King of Pride. I rated this one, I believe I said 3.75 or something out of 5. Something along those lines. It wasn't quite a 4 for me. I did love the story. Again, it follows a billionaire. He has his life all put together. He knows exactly what he wants. And then it follows a girl who doesn't really know what she wants and is very creative and very disorganized, I guess you could say. So it follows their relationship. There were a lot of plot points that I really did enjoy that are not normal for like a romance book. It wasn't just based off of the romance. There were a lot of outside stuff going on with each character. So I really, really enjoyed that as well. And the last book of the series so far is King of Greed. The next one doesn't come out until like end of April, I believe, and that's King of Sloth. But anyways, King of Greed, I rated this a 5 out of 5. That book was amazing. Amazing. I loved it so much. It follows a billionaire, of course. They're a married couple. They've been married for about 10 years and they're going through these struggles, and mostly due to the fact that they've sort of neglected their relationship throughout the years. And I say they meaning him because he has been obsessed and very greedy. So it follows their story and basically him trying to win his wife back. And I just thought the story was so relatable, so amazing, and I think it was just so creative. I haven't read a romance book that's like that, and so I really, really appreciated that as well. So yeah, those were the 10 books that I read this month. If you guys have read them, let me know your thoughts. I also have all of my reviews posted on Goodreads. There's also more in-depth ones posted on TikTok as well, but this is all of my reviews for March.